Most would have to run the streets for years to learn a lesson that profound. It took me 2 seconds. Never get between somebody and their paper.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
What if the $50 million lawsuit rocking Shannon Sharpe has less to do with justice and more to do with reminding a self-made media giant exactly who writes the rules in Hollywood? Nobody saw it coming until the moment his 9-figure dreams finally seemed within reach. Shannon's second act looked unstoppable. After 3 Super Bowl rings and a bronze bust in Canton, he morphed from Hall of Famer to unfiltered headline machine. By 2023, he had already spent 6 years trading verbal haymakers with Skip Bayless on national television, but leaving that desk lit a creative spark. He launched Club Shay Shay in his own garage studio, elbow-bumping guests in front of signed jerseys, cigars, and his grandmother's cast iron skillet. Most ex-athletes struggle to hold attention past highlight reels. Shannon did the opposite. He cultivated an atmosphere where megawatt celebrities felt safe dropping secrets you never hear on polished late-night couches. That gamble paid off in January 2024 when comedian Cat Williams walked through the door and detonated Hollywood's hush-hush code. The interview was part confessional, part roast session, and all viral gold. Within 48 hours, it passed 20 million views, smashing the record for a long-form celebrity sit-down on YouTube. Sponsors who had politely ignored the channel now begged for ad slots. By spring, 2 sports streaming giants and a traditional network floated offers rumored to top $100 million. Unthinkable money for an athlete-led show produced outside the legacy system. Sharpe teased a production compound in Atlanta, promising to amplify voices the mainstream found inconvenient. To many, it felt like the first true competitor to late-night television since Jon Stewart's heyday. But the higher you climb, the colder the air. And on April 20th, 2025, a legal thunderclap shattered the celebration. A 41-page complaint filed in Nevada civil court cast Sharpe as a predator. The plaintiff, initially Jane Doe, later identified as 20-year-old Gabriella Zuniga, alleged a sequence of violent encounters during a relationship that began when she was 19. According to the filing, their connection started in a Los Angeles gym, accelerated through daily text exchanges, and spiraled into coercion, choking, and threats behind closed doors. 2 dates loomed largest: October 6, 2024 and January 2, 2025. Nights Zuniga claimed Sharpe forced acts against her will. She spoke of hidden cameras, a handgun left in her line of sight, and explicit warnings that no other man would want her. Zuniga's attorneys demanded a jury and $50 million in damages, declaring Sharpe a flawed, narcissistic individual who uses fame to subjugate women. Social feeds erupted. Hashtags flipped from game highlights to courtroom jargon overnight. Viewers who spent Sunday mornings laughing at Shannon's back and forth with Stephen A. Smith suddenly parsed legal briefs for terms like non-consensual intercourse and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Even die-hard fans admitted the language in the suit was jarring. Yet one detail grabbed equal attention. The lawyer steering the case was Tony Busby, a name synonymous with high-octane accusations. Busby built his reputation and a fortune pursuing headline defendants. He shepherded 22 civil actions against quarterback Deshaun Watson, filed multiple complaints against music mogul Diddy, and lobbed a swiftly dismissed claim at Jay-Z. Supporters hail him as fearless. Critics call him a master of public shakedowns who conveniently lands settlements once the camera crews pack up. He has been reprimanded for flouting jurisdiction rules in New York and once admitted to aggressive media strategy as a tactic. Busby denies targeting black celebrities, insisting he is sought out by people silenced by money and muscle. But pattern or coincidence, the optics fuel debate whenever his press conferences feature minority superstars and breathtaking dollar figures. Within 72 hours of Zuniga's filing, a separate twist deepened the intrigue. Sharpe's attorney, crisis fixer Lanny Davis, confirmed on national television that his client had offered Zuniga at least $10 million during a February mediation session. Davis framed it as routine nuisance value math. Litigation drags reputations through mud. Sometimes you pay to prevent that, even when the accusations are fiction. Busby pounced, posting on Instagram. Innocent men do not wire 8 figures to keep the truth hidden. Public opinion fractured. Some fans viewed the payout offer as practical risk management. Others saw an implicit confession. Then an audio leak detonated online. The clip featured a raspy male voice, alleged to be Sharpe, growling, "Say that again and I'll choke the life out of you." Busby claimed the exchange proved Zuniga's version. Sharpe's camp shot back that the file was an edited role-play fantasy clipped from consensual intimacy Zuniga requested. The internet couldn't decide which explanation felt more unsettling: violent real-world threat or rough role-play recorded without consent. Comment sections lit up with arguments about kink, abuse, age gaps, and the blurred line between private audacity and criminal misconduct. As the clip surfed algorithms, comedian Dave Chappelle added kerosene, Chappelle's own history, walking away from a network fortune, lambasting industry gatekeepers, made him an unofficial spokesman for entertainers wary of silent power structures. Insiders claim he quietly warned Sharpe after the Cat Williams episode, "Brother, they let you get rich, not free." Weeks later, on stage in Seattle, Chappelle riffed, "Funny how 9-figure contracts always land right before the scandal hammer drops. Somebody wants you to remember who owns the pen." The line drew laughs, but also a new narrative. Was the lawsuit less about justice and more about punishing a black man whose channel now raked more watch hours than some cable networks? Whether conspiracy or coincidence, the fallout hit fast. ESPN announced Sharpe would step away temporarily from First Take. Sources inside Bristol hinted the sabbatical wasn't voluntary. Advertisers threatened to yank buys if he remained on air. Executives floated recently retired center Jason Kelce as a permanent replacement. The $100 million syndication deal Sharpe courted went cold. Insurers balked, investors paused, and draft contracts slipped into desk drawers. Sharpe's fledgling Atlanta studio, designed as a pipeline for independent voices, froze hiring while lawyers pored over due diligence clauses. The public response split along familiar fault lines. The hashtag #sign Stand With Shannon climbed trending charts as supporters compared him to Kobe Bryant and Mike Tyson, athletes who navigated scandal and reclaimed superstardom. They cited America's history of criminalizing black masculinity, argued the timing screamed sabotage, and pointed to Busby's record of quietly settled cases. Detractors countered that a 56-year-old engaging a 19-year-old OnlyFans model betrayed grotesque power dynamics, if not outright exploitation. One viral post read, "A man born during Jim Crow paying a teenager for race play is wild. Stop blaming conspiracies for rotten choices." The debate exposed generational divides on consent, money, and moral accountability in the social media age. Ghosts from Sharpe's past resurfaced too. In 2010, his ex-girlfriend Michelle Bundy Evans told Atlanta police he had forced himself on her. No charges were filed, but Sharpe obtained a restraining order claiming harassment. Evans sued him for defamation in 2023 after he publicly labeled her allegations fabricated for clout. That civil case vanished under a sealed settlement. Now Evans returned to X with a single line. Some stories refused to stay buried. For critics, it cemented a predatory pattern. Supporters saw recycled mud from a disgruntled ex. Still, every new comment kept Sharpe's name glued to words like graped, power imbalance, and threat. Legal experts predict a marathon. Nevada's civil court calendar suggests preliminary discovery through early 2026 and a jury window that autumn. Discovery will decide everything: text logs, location pings, medical records, unedited audio, and possible witness testimony. If Busby produces corroborating evidence beyond the leaked clip, Sharpe's media empire could implode. If contradictions surface, timelines off by hours, GPS signals proving distance, messages showing roleplay consent, Busby's reputation for theatrical filings may finally backfire. Behind scenes, investigators in Clark County quietly monitor developments, though no criminal probe is confirmed. Sharpe's circle whispers about a war chest earmarked for countersuits the moment Zuniga's claim wobbles. Meanwhile, Hollywood watches its spreadsheets. One studio executive was blunt in Variety. $100 million is easy to pledge. It's hell to insure. At that level, one unresolved allegation can turn profit into liability. Sharpe's advisors hope time will dull outrage. They've studied how public acceptance returned to athletes like Ben Roethlisberger and Floyd Mayweather after settlements. But social media cycles grow shorter and louder. Each new allegation travels farther and sticks longer. Away from courtrooms and corporate boardrooms lies a deeper question. What happens to truth when money, race, and reputation generation collide. Supporters frame Sharpe as the latest example of a system that elevates black men for entertainment, only to yank the ladder when they start owning their platforms. Skeptics argue crying conspiracy is a tired shield for men unwilling to curb appetites the moment fame multiplies options. Both narratives may hold fragments of reality. Historically, the entertainment machine can engineer both meteoric rises and spectacular falls, and it rarely wastes leverage once it has some. The next phase will test more than Sharpe's innocence. It will test whether independent black-owned media can survive even the hint of scandal. If Sharpe clears his name, investors might finally believe athlete-driven studios can outlast the first tabloid thunderstorm. If he stumbles, gatekeepers get new ammunition, proof that betting 9-figure sums on unfiltered personalities is too risky for shareholders. Either outcome shapes the roadmap for the next wave of ex-pros eyeing camera lenses instead of coaching whistles. For Gabriella Zuniga, the journey is equally perilous. Sexual assault plaintiffs endure ruthless cross-examination and online vitriol. The internet's permanent memory will plaster her identity beside every updated headline, friend request, and job interview. Even if she prevails, half the audience will label her a liar who cashed out, the other half a survivor who took hush money. Justice rarely feels neat when tried on public timeliness, and somewhere in the noise stands Tony Busby, the ringmaster who thrives on chaos. Win or lose, he secures airtime, cements his brand, and signals to the next would-be client that he's fearless enough to confront fame and fortune. If the suit settles quietly for 8 or 9 figures, as many of his cases do, he'll pocket a hefty percentage and move on to the next headline. If it drags to verdict, he risks exposure of aggressive tactics, but even a partial win bolsters his legend. Shannon Sharpe now faces the biggest blitz of his life, and the scoreboard won't settle in 4 quarters. Is this a righteous reckoning for a celebrity who blurred red lines until they bled, or proof that unseen gatekeepers still punish black creators once their bank accounts grow too fat and their voices too loud? Whichever truth survives cross-examination, one fact remains. In the entertainment game, the price of freedom is never printed on the contract. Sometimes the most dangerous play involves no football at all, just whispered deals in conference rooms no audience will ever see. Think about that before the next headline drops, because this story is far from over.